Hello, we have 5 power 4311 versus 4 power 5311. We want to find out which of these is the bigger number without using a calculator. So let's copy out this first number here. We have 5 power 4311. So we can simply express this 4311, that is 4311, as the summation of 4311. So we have 5 power 4000 plus 311. Then going by this identity, a power n plus m equals a power n times a power m. By applying this identity here, we are going to have 5 to the power of 4000 times 5 to the power of 311. Now we can also have this as 5 to the power of 4000 is the same thing as 4 times 1000. Then we have times 5 to the power of 311. So going by this identity, if you have a power n times m, this equals a power n or power m. By applying this identity here, we will have 5 to the power of 4 or to the power of 1000 times 5 to the power of 311. So this simply means 5 to the power of 4 simply means 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 to the power of 1000 times, this is 5 to the power of 311. So from here, we can simply have 5 times 5, 25, 25 times 5, 125, 125 times 5, this is 625 to the power of 1000 times 5 to the power of 311. Now, we can also split this 1000 as the summation of 6, 8, 9 and 311. So we have this equals 625 to the power of 689 plus 1, that is 311 times 5 power 311. So you have 311 here and we have 311 here. So we go back to the same identity. A power n plus m equals a power n times a power m. We apply same here. So we have this equals 625 to the power of, this is 689 times 625 to the power of 311. Then we have times 5 to the power of 311. Now at this point we can apply this identity. If you have a power c times b power c, this equals a times b all power c. The exponents are the same, so we multiply the basis. So we have this equals 625 to the power of 689. Then we have times 625 times 5. So we have 625 times 5 to the power of 311. So finally, this will give us 625 to the power of 689. Then we have times 625 times 5 is 3125 to the power of 311. Let's stop this one here. So we have just picked out the first number, which is this one here. Now let's also consider this. I'm going to write it down here. This is 4 to the power of 5311. Right? Good. So we are now considering the second number here. Remember, we were comparing, so we are considering this number right now. So we are going to do the same thing. We have 4 to the power of, instead of this, we can have it as 5000 plus 311. So we go back to the same identity, a power n plus m equals a power n times a power m. So this will give us 4 to the power of 5000 times 4 to the power of 311. So from here, we can simply have 4 to the power of, instead of 5000, we have 5 times 1000 times 4 to the power of 311. So we consider this identity. If you have a power n times m, this equals a power n all power m. So we apply this same identity here. We are going to have 4 to the power of 5 to the power of 1000 times 4 to the power of 311. So 4 power 5 simply means 4 into 5 places. But this is what we are going to do. We can simply express this 4. Since 4 is a perfect square, we can have it as 2 power 2 all power 5. And this is raised to the power of 1000 times 4 power 311. So we go back to this identity of a power n or power m equals a power n times m. We multiply this out. So we have 2 to the power of 10, and this is to the power of 1000 times 4 power 311. Now 2 to the power of 10 is what? 2 to the power of 10 equals 2 to the power of 5 times 2. And this equals 2 to the power of 5 all to the power of 2. And this equals 2 to the power of 5 is 32. That's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 into 5 places. Power 2, this 32 power 2, and this equals 1024. So 2 to the power of 10 is 1024 to the power of 1000 times 4 power 311. Now at this point, we can also split this 1000 into two parts. We have 689 and 311, just like what we did earlier on. We have 1024 power, this is 689 plus 311 times 4 power 311. So we go back to the same identity. A power m plus m equals a power n times a power m. So this will give us 1024 power 689 times 1024 power 311 times 4 power 311. Now the exponents are the same. Remember, if you have a power c times b power c, this equals a times b or power c. So we are going to have 1024 power 689 times, this is 1024 times 4 all to the power of 311. So from here, we have 1024 power 689 times 1024 times 4 will give you 4096, and this is raised to the power of 311. Let's also stop it here. So look at the one we had earlier on. Look at it here. This is 625 power 689 times 3125 power 311. And look at what we have here. So let me kindly copy this one down there so that we can easily compare. So I'm going to copy it here. Let me use face source. Let me copy this one down here, which is 1024 power 689 times 4096 power 311. Look at it here. I just copied it from here down here. Now let's compare the exponent. This is 689 and this is 689. They are the same, but 1024 is bigger than 625, so this is bigger. Let's consider this one here. 311, 311, they are the same, but 4096 is bigger than 3125. So it's very obvious that the number that gave us this, which is 4 power 5311, equals this, while 5 power 4311 equals this. So this is the obvious bigger number without calculator or anything. So that is it, guys. I believe you have seen all the steps. So the bigger number is this, 4 power 5311. So this is smaller than, let me use less than. This is less than this. So this becomes the greater number. Thank you and goodbye.